this season, especially when two teams have played against each other, good teams, it's been cagey. So yeah, I'm not too disappointed.
I hate this retrospective talk, man. Oh, I can't stand it.
What do you mean?
I'll let everyone else land.
When you say retrospective,
I'll respect for Andrew.
Hang on, cheers. But when you say retrospective thought,
no, I can't bother to deal with it. I genuinely can't be asked.
Hang on, cheers. But we haven't seen you on the show for weeks. The point is this. Yeah, that's fine. You've been busy. You can't. Seb saying what Seb's saying. Seb weren't disrespecting you in the build up to this. Said it was going to be a hard game. That's not retrospective.
Not Seb specifically, but the general like Arsenal consensus on the chat and the panelists.
Yeah. What panelists? Please don't tell me you're talking about panelists.
One in the top left corner to me who was chatting before the game, not like this. So,
okay, so one person. Who else?
So Terry, we're being pedantic. Your favorite word?
No, I'm being specific.
Because Terry, this is the thing, yeah. We can talk specific people, but then that's just calling people out for what they're saying. Everyone can make mistakes in football, right? Everyone can make judgments that don't come to fruition and stuff, right? But the general consensus was before the game, Arsenal have the best squad in the league, correct. Arsenal beat the best team in the league. The world, Europe, Bayern Munich, correct. They're top of the league, correct. Mm-hmm. So before the game, the Arsenal fans, to their credit or to not, they said they were coming to this game to win, not to draw to 10 men, not to see how good Chelsea were. That's why the Chelsea fans are agreeing with me. Now, they're very polite. I'm not as polite as them and do political stuff. I'll say how it is. Have the same energy, not you, Terry, not you or Seb, not Seb specifically, but have the same energy in general, the chat especially, before the game to after the game. So after we draw and we compete and we're not getting bopped and we're not showed levels, don't come now and tell me our squad and our top of the league, a draw's not that bad. I don't want to hear that. I just don't want to hear it. Not Terry.
I'm not being pedantic. I'm going to interject them and say this. I hear what you're saying, and maybe Anton is someone who's done it, but the vast majority of Arsenal fans that I've had on the terrace this week, or things I've read in the comments, have been, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a close win if we get it. Other YouTube channels and other YouTubers that have nothing to do with the football terrace have said that. So my view is go there and chat to them and their 50 viewers watching them live.
You did have a guy.
Terry, even I said it'd be a tough game. I didn't say this was going to be a blowout.
I never said your
name. I said
what?
that you. No, but Terry just said that. Fair enough. But me, he said it would be a tough game. I did say it would be a tough game, and I praised you guys' performance. I thought you guys were excellent today, and you guys outfought us. You guys out hustled us.
We weren't excellent. We weren't that good. Don't overdo it. We weren't excellent. We were good. And that's why we're disappointed.
I thought, considering you guys were up against it, you guys were down to 10.
No, but to you, that's what I'm saying. People don't watch our games. Like a gal, Terry, to be specific, a guy called a gal who is on the football terrace said we're little boys 2 days ago. I can't bring up.
But where did he say that? Where did he say that?
Fair, it was his channel.
Yeah, not on the football terrace. You're coming here attacking my community. Hang on, you're attacking my community and audience for things that people said on other channels. They didn't say it here.
Because the guy was cheeky. Me and guy were boys, and he was cheeky. He was like, before I praised Chelsea the most, but before the game, he wasn't praising us and going, "It's going to be a tough game." He was saying, "We're going to win." So I just want the same energy. But to Anton's point, I do hear what you're saying about it was going to be a tough game. But I'm so sorry. The boys will agree with me. The Arsenal fans were not speaking like this before the game. They just weren't. If they were speaking like this, I don't think we'd all be saying things like "humble yourself." Dave would mention he has receipts for people. He wouldn't be saying that. But the reason why he's had to say that is because before the game, you would have thought they were going to come to Morgan and beat us 2-3-0, which shows people don't watch our games. This the result today. The only thing that surprised me, Terry, to be fair, was the fact that we learned from the mistakes. I think someone mentioned it about the red cards before. I was worried because we had red cards against Brighton and United, and we kind of fumbled the bag, bottled it, whatever you want to claim it was. And today, I was worried that would happen. And when the goal went in from Moreno, I'm sure the boys were all a bit disappointed we're going to lose this game. So to see a draw is decent, but I'm very disappointed. We should have won the game in the first half. We had many chances. It could have been 2-0 probably, and we probably nicked the game because we just had enough. But unfortunately, we had to get the header from Chalobah to get the goal, and we had to hold on a bit. So it's mixed, but that's what I wanted to say on the retrospective part. I hear what you're saying, Terry, not you specifically, or Anton, maybe he did. I don't listen to him too much, but the energy from the chat and what I've been reading, the super chats, is very much you're celebrating a draw, which is very ironic, by the way, Because if you know, you know, innit? It's very, very hard.
But this is also what you remember about the chats and the super chats is it's just people giving back what's given to them in certain moments, and that's
it's a cyclical narrative. I hear it.
But you're exactly the same because
I'm buying into it, and that's why I'm playing my cards.
I know what you're like because I've been told by people in the Chelsea group chats you're always shitting it before games, but in the open group chats you talk about how amazing you are. At the same time, we can all. Do you remember Carl Froch? We can all have a little bit of a push and a pull. For as brilliant as you say Chelsea are compared to Man United, you're only 3 points ahead of us. We could all play these silly games, but we all know the truth of the matter that you are much better than us. We all know that Arsenal are the best team in the Prem so far. But where I agree with you is the idea this game was going to be easy for Arsenal, I always thought was an absolute stretch. But the majority of Gooners I've come across, and I've only found out about this whilst being live that said it, are the Arteta outers of all people, which tells me they're setting their own club up. Because they don't even back their managers. Why they think they're going to win 3 or 4-0? That's fucking mental.
I think the main problem with it is really that a lot of people won't talk about just a game in isolation. It's an isolation. I would still back us to say we have a really good squad. I still think we're going to win the league, but I'm not going to start throwing my everything out the pram by going, this proves. I don't think this game proves that we're not as good as we say. We just had a bad game. Chelsea had a really good game. We don't need to do overarching statements from.
But to be fair, do not say that last year and the year before, people all said the same thing. When it's Stamford Bridge, where last year, the 1-1 and the 2-2, the same thing was said. Where it was like, we had a bad day. 3 bad days. Coincidentally, having to Stamford Bridge where you draw.
Well, to be fair to you, Ches,
sorry, I'll go to you.
What happened today?
But Ches, what are you saying then?
I was just about to say what I was going to say. But anyway, I was going to say that, in my opinion, I think Chelsea just match up with Arsenal quite well. And we raise our game before to their level, and I think this season we are on their level. We're just too, like Don said to you in that whole debate. If we had their centre backs, people would have Chelsea as favourites or one of the favourites from the league.
But no one.
The difference is we had unforced errors. In the games we've lost, because I've got a revise where we dropped points, correct? So we're 6 points behind them. Where do we drop the 6 points? Now you're going to lose a game or two naturally. That's Sunderland. That can happen, right? Sunderland against Arsenal can happen. So I'm not going to look into that too much. The games I look into are the Brighton game, United game, with unforced errors. Unforced errors why we lost the points to Brighton. We're cruising 1-0, could have been 2-3. We get a red card and the manager bottled it. And we lost the game.
I wouldn't say the red card against Man United was an unforced error. We opened you up and you committed a foul trying to stop us scoring a goal.
Sanchez doesn't concede that red card,
but that's a forced error. That's a forced error through us opening you up. That's not an unforced error. An unforced error is more what Caicedo did today because he didn't need to make that tackle and he got himself sent off for no reason. The thing is, though, I hear what you're saying, and the Don debate, I still can't believe Don doesn't understand it. It's not about whether he's right or wrong in his opinion. I'm accepting his opinion. It's the element of, it's like when you say things like, oh, maybe this proves Arsenal ain't as good as they are. I go, well, make your statement about how good or bad they are then. So this is the only thing I challenge Don.
I never said that to you.
That was a hypothetical.
Don
does this thing where Don says we're really close to Arsenal. The only thing that separates us is centre-backs. Fair statement. I don't care that he says that. It's then when he goes, I'm happy with us making top 4, but Arsenal must win the league. My only challenge is, if you're that close to each other's levels, how comes your expectations are so vastly different to Arsenal's? And by the way, there could be a logical reason for that, but he's still not. All he then says is because our centre backs drop us down a level.
That's the case, though. By the way, we didn't have our centre backs today. Why aren't you
Anton, let me finish. Then, if the centre backs drop you down such a level that one must win the league and the other will be happy with finishing top 4, then you're not as close as you say. Those two statements are that's the only thing I don't care if
that's not my debate. I can't speak for him.
That for me is the only element of that conversation. It's not about what he thinks. It's those two things seem to contradict each other, and I'm trying to understand why.
What I would say, from my point of view, we said this a million times. It's easier to go from 4th to 2nd and compete than 2nd to win the league. So the gains that Arsenal have to make are smaller, but they're harder to do. The gains Chelsea have to make are bigger. They're easier to do, right? So that's why I look at the Brighton game as hugely disappointing, for example. United game, fair enough. Remember the unforced error? United deserved it, cool. But the Brighton game, we were cruising the game. a better team, more experience in that moment, win that game, and it's just another win.
And Ches, I agree with you completely.
That's why, to me, end on this, going to cut, that's why today's game, I'm okay with the draw because we're 10 men down, but I'm disappointed because the boys will tell you after last week, in the first half, we should have won the game there. The game should have been done. You get the red card, you can sit back on 2-0. So I'm disappointed in our attack in this game, to be fair.
I hear you, mate. I hear you. Ches, top man.
The only question I was going to ask to the Don point is, if the center backs is the only difference, only what makes us better. Today we didn't even have them. So why didn't Chelsea pump us? If they're better than us in all other areas.
To defend Chelsea here, though, the red card happened. We have no idea. 11v. Like, football matches are hard to assess on normal standards when a player gets sent off because a sending off is abnormal. It's like at pre-season. I don't assess the performance on pre-season when both teams make 10 subs because it's an abnormal moment in a game that doesn't exist in reality. So up until that 38th minute, the game was very even, if not Chelsea were edging it. They are at home. I think it does level things out. I don't think
it was still even, though, with our centre backs missing. So his idea is that every other position on the pitch, Chelsea are better than us.
Chelsea were better than you. Chelsea were better than you up until the red card.
No. But what I'm saying is, if he's saying all other players' positions outside of our centre backs are better than us, that means with the centre backs out, they should be better than us all across the board. And you just said that they slightly edged us. That's why I think that idea goes out the window, because we clearly were a lot better in attacking midfield than he gives us credit for.
I hear that.